Hello there! Welcome back to another episode of peculiART. If you're new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you wouldn't miss any of my videos. If you want to take a closer look on my drawings, be sure to check out my social media accounts. So for today's video, I'll be teaching you on how you could shade like a pro. Many people had been asking me how do you even do that shading? How do you do this? How you do that? So I decided to make a separate video on how I shade my drawings because I just want to share on what I know based on solely my experience, and just a disclaimer, I am not a professional and I just on my observation and just what I've picked up from all those years of drawing. So I really hope this video helps you. For today's demonstration, I'll be drawing Kim Taeyong of BTS. So the first thing you want to do is to set the filter of your picture to monochrome, because that would just make everything much easier, because when you do this you would get a vision of how you could draw your portrait. The next thing I did was that I did the method of tracing, wherein I grabbed my picture and just traced it, and it will leave marks on my paper. And if you want the full tutorial on that one, the link is on the description box below. So yeah, that's it, and then let's get started to the do's and don'ts. So the first don't on the list is to just trace the outline, because in the past I would grab a dark pencil and then just shade the outer edges, and it just won't look good. It will make everything look sharp, and you don't want that. So the correct thing to do here is just to start with a light shade and then make everything look like shadows. Just start from the inside and then going to the outside, and just by spreading the shadow out. Another mistake, it's not really a mistake, but for me, in my opinion, it's just better to use a variety of pencil instead of using only one, because I don't know, it just makes your drawing look more accurate and fuller. But if you can pull this off by just that, then why not? If then, I have an advice for that. So that brings us to the amount of pressure that we must apply on the drawing. When using only one pencil, apply a lighter pressure on those light areas, and of course, when it comes to the darker areas, do the opposite, or apply a heavier pressure. And also, when applying the pressure to the drawing, when using only one pencil, or maybe using several ones, just make your hand very light so that the pressure that you would be applying would be even, and the pencil lines would look less noticeable. When I shade, I actually smudge it instantly and smudge again when I add another layer, so that I could get that smooth effect. So the next mistake that people do is that they instantly darken the portrait. I think just because they get too excited or such, that they forgot the rules, and then when they get finished, they regret it. So just don't instantly darken the picture. Just start from a light shade first, going to dark, and just don't get too excited. Just be patient, because I learned from drawing is that when you get patient in a drawing, you would get really good results. And then the last thing you want to do, or the last thing on the list of our don'ts, is to overshade the whole picture. As I said earlier, you get too excited. Well, in this part, people could get, I don't know, they could enjoy too much of shading, and they tend to like shade until they feel some satisfaction. Well, just don't shade it too much, especially the skin, because you don't want the subject to look dark. What you want to do is just to make the hair darker, and also the facial features, so those two would stand out from the skin. In order to avoid overshading, is that we must keep in mind that not all areas need that much amount of shading. So for example is Taeng's hair, is that I erased some parts of it in the middle part, just to give that shiny effect. Just remember the two things that I said in my previous video, that the most important thing when shading is knowing the light source and the position of the object, because that's where you will base your shading. So that's it for today. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and comment down below and tell me how it went. Thanks for watching. See you next time.